Hello creatives, this is John Ofo of John Visuals. You are welcome to my YouTube channel once again. So in this session of our tutorial, we are going to be looking at how I was able to achieve this happy new week flyer design. Please don't forget to like, share and comment if you love the knowledge you are getting here. So without wasting much of your time, let's get started. Alright, so this is the flyer design. This is the happy new week flyer that we are going to be working on. So I'm going to be guiding us on the step on how I was able to achieve this flyer design. Let's get started now. So the first thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to hide this layer. I'm actually going to hide the layer. I want to hide it. So this is, I've hidden it. The next thing I'm going to do here, don't forget most of us are conversant with how we are able to create a new document, so I'm not going to go into details for that. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to take one of the backgrounds. So I made use of a lot of backgrounds here, but let's start with the step by step. Okay, so this is the first background I used here. This is the background I used here, the first background I used here. So I held my, it's already on transform, so I held my alternate left click and then I drag to expand. So I've expanded it. It has been expanded. So okay, I'm still going to, let me still expand it again. Let me still expand it again. So I'm going to expand it again. I'm going to expand it again. So all right. So the next thing I'm going to do here, I want to take off the milky color. So I will go to my select menu. I will click on color range. I will pick the exact color I want to take out. So I will just go to the exact color I want to take out. I will click on it, then click on OK. I'll click on it and click OK. Now, once I click, when I've already selected and I've clicked OK, what is happening to my? Okay, I've clicked OK. So we discover that it has selected the milky part of our design. Next thing I will do here is to add my layer mask. I'll add my layer mask. Now, when I add my layer mask, I'm having this, but this is not actually what I want. So I'll press my Ctrl I to invert. So this is what I actually want us to have here. Okay, so the next thing we'll do here is we're going to reduce this. I'm going to reduce it. I'm going to reduce it a little. So let me check the percentage I used for the tutorial. Okay, I used 6. All right, so I'm going to reduce the opacity to, but this time let me leave it at 11. Next thing I'm going to do is to add my half tone. I'm going to add my half tone. Here's my half tone. I'm going to hide it. So I'm going to add it. Hold my Alt, click and expand, then press OK key. I'll go to my blending mode and change it to lighter color. It was lighter color I used there, so I'm going to change it to lighter color. The next thing I will do here again is to select the third background. The third background, which is this. This is the third background we have here. So I'm going to expand it. I'm going to expand it. I'm going to expand and then go to my blending mode again, change it to screen. I'm going to change it to screen. I'll move again to my blending mode. Okay, I have a castle here. This is a castle. Now, the reason I'm bringing this castle here, I want to add, what I'm doing here, I actually want to add depth to the design. I want to add depth to the design. So I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to duplicate this by pressing Ctrl J. I'll click and drag. Then I'll click on I'll transform it. I'll transform, right click and click on flip horizontal. Flip horizontal. So I'm going to take it. This is what I'm having here. This is what I'm having here. So what I'm going to do now, I want to merge these two images. I want to merge them together. So I'm going to hold my control, click on the two images and press Ctrl E to merge them together. So I've done that. I'll go to my blending mode. I've done that, but the next thing I did was to go to my blending mode. I keep searching for the very one that will give me what I want. Okay. So I needed to add depth to it. So alright, so I have vivid. I'm going to make use of vivid light because I want to add more details to the previous images of the. So we are going to be making use of vivid light here. I'll still go back to add my layer. I'm going to make use of this. So for this very one, I added this. I did because like I said earlier, I want to add details. I want my background to have details on it. So I'm going to select screen. For this, I'm going to be making use of screen. For this, I'm using screen. So let's see what works. Okay, let's see. No, I won't be using screen, sorry. I think I'm not. I'll be using lighter color. I'm using lighter color. So the next thing I'm going to do is to add this. Now, excuse me. I'm going to transform, increase the size of it. I'm actually going to increase the size of it. I'm going to increase the size of it. So I'll click OK. Now I'll go to my blending mode. The blending mode I will be using here will be vivid light. But before then, the reason I actually want to make use of this, I want to add color, a kind of beauty to the background. So I will need something that has multiple colors that can add color and this vibe to the background. So I'll play around with my blending tool. Now, mind you, there is no one way to do this. So you select blending mode based on what works for you. There is no one way. Anything that works for you, any of the blending mode that works for you, that is what you would make use of. But in this case, I will check the blending mode that works for me. So let me still check. Okay, so let's use vivid light. Well, I'm going to work on it a little. Okay, so I actually want to add, so I'm going to reduce this a little because I want to add okay, so this, let me take yeah, it was actually vivid light we made use of. So I'm going to make use of the vivid light. Okay, yeah, so this is what we are having now. So when you look at the background, we are having some multiple colors. So we're having yellow, we're having blue and other colors on the background. That is the essence of what I actually want us to achieve here. So the next thing we'll do here is to So we'll take another one here. Okay, I have this. So we have this. So I'm going to bring it down a little. Click OK. So I'm going to play with my blending mode again. Now why am I playing with my blending mode? I want to see what works for me. So I'm going to check the blending mode that best works for me, and that will give me what I actually want. Right, so let's see. Okay, difference works. It works. So I'm going to bring it down a little, but I'm not going to leave it like this. I'm going to add something to the background again, because I don't want part of this different. I don't want part of this lens flare to show. So what I'm going to do now is to let me bring this down. I'm going to add a fork to it. I'm going to add to it. So this is what we have here. Let me brush. I'm going to brush because I know what I actually want to achieve with this. I'm going to brush off this top layer. I'm going to brush it off. Brush off this top layer. Okay, so I'm going to also brush up. I'm going to brush this down part too. I'm going to brush and then duplicate. I'm going to brush, go to my blending mode, change it to screen. Because I actually want to achieve something with it. So I'll go to normal, I'll click on screen. Now the next thing I'm going to do here is I'll continually duplicate this very background till I get what I actually want. So I'm going to press Ctrl J to duplicate. So I'm duplicating now. Alright, so I think this is okay for me. This is okay. So I will select all of this particular image, press Ctrl E to merge all of them together. So I've merged them together, but I discovered that it's still giving me the original when the initial time when I added my brush, I used my brush to blend it, so it's still giving me this kind of result. So for me to solve this kind of problem, I will go to my blending mode and change it to screen. Now I've changed to screen. I'll press Ctrl T and transform it. Sorry, flip horizontal. I'm going to flip horizontal. So this is what I'm actually having currently. Alright, so the next thing I will do here, so I'm going to do here, let's check. Okay, so let me group them. Let me group them. Then I have, okay, so I'm going to make a little adjustment to this. Alright, so I'm just trying to make adjustments so you can get the result of the previous. Okay, so let's continue. Excuse me. Alright, so I'm going to add our images now. This is the first image I'm going to add here. So I'm going to flip horizontal and reduce the size a little. So I'll bring it down here. Click OK. So I'll take the next image here, the same person, but I'm going to reduce the size because I don't want both of them to have the same size. So I'm going to reduce the size here. I have this. Right, let's make use of the image I used for the design. So let's make use of it. Don't get to waste time here. So this is the two images I used. This is the images I used here. Let me get this is the Paris, the tower I used. So I'm going to reduce the size a little. Increase it. I'm going to take it up to this point. Okay, so let me still see if that is the position the tower is. Okay, so let's use, next thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to add a shadow beneath the tower to make it more realistic. So I'll add a new layer, click on my brush tool, go to open brush preset. I already have the brush table. So how was I able to come about this? All you simply have to do is come to this place, left click and drag. Left click and drag. So this was how I was able to achieve that thing I used for my shadow. So I will go to my foreground color, set it to black. So the color for this black is 242424. I'll just click. Okay. Alright, so that is it. I've done it. So the next thing I did here, let me go back to so the next thing I did here was the Happy New Week. Okay, the music. So this is how I came about that. So I also, first of all, I have to click on my rectangular tool by pressing U on my keyboard. This is so here I will go to my property. Try to play around with it. So let's use 90, and then I reduce my fill. A little. Okay, 89 is okay for us. I go back to add my music play lists. I'll just reduce it. Bring it down here. So I'm going to center it. Alright, so I'm going to still bring it down. And then write the name. You can use any font for the name. You can use any font for the name. So I'm going to use white. Shifted Sun is the font I used. So I'll type Happy New Week, enter key. So I'll type John Visual. Okay, I'm going to make it bold. Click OK. So this size is okay. let me reduce the size of this playlist. So let me reduce the size a bit. Okay, so I'll drag it down, bring in the name or the write-up. So I'm going to bring it down again. I'm going to bring it down. So I think let me reduce the size. Let me keep it at 10 and reduce the spacing. Okay. Alright, so let me increase the size a little. Okay, so this is okay. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to write my Happy New Week, but I'm not going to write it in full. I'm going to write it, I'll start the first letter with capital letter, then the small with the small, the initials. That's what I'm going to make use of, the initials. So we have Happy New Week, HNW. So let me use that, and the font that was used here, I used red and blue. The color is red and blue. The font that was used here was La Rosa. La Rosa font was what I used. I used La Rosa font. La Rosa font, yes, that was what I used for it. So I increased it. And I typed Happy New Week. So I'm going to change the color of the N to blue. That is the idea behind this. Right, so I'll just simply make it big. This is okay. I will take it behind the subject, the main characters I used here. So I have something like this. Let's say with the previous one, the original design I made. Okay, so I'm still going to increase the size. All right, so next thing I did here was to add inner shadow to it by going to our blending option. Click on inner shadow. I added my inner shadow. So the inner shadow I used here, the distance, I have my angle 95 degree, the distance 8, the choke 35%, the size 29%. So that is what we have here. All right, so let me get the other texts. I used. Okay, I used the happy. Let me get the other texts. All right, so okay, we have a little write-up on it. So this is the write-up. I'm just going to bring it where it is visible. We have a write-up here. We have another one again. All right, so another one again. Okay, so that is it. The last thing I did was I just create a visible stamp layer. Take the overall design to camera raw. I will convert to smart object, then take the overall design to camera raw filter. and enhance it for a better quality. So I'm going to take the final design. We are done, so I'm going to take the design now to Camera Raw filter by pressing Ctrl Shift A. Ctrl Shift A. It takes us to our Camera Raw filter where we make some adjustments to the design to make it pop. So I'm going to sharpen the design. Okay, let me use the previous settings. So the previous settings, let's reset to default. So